supply. Acknowledged. Confirming task.
Welcome to Virtual Realms. I'm Ranger 1, and we're back in Jurassic World Evolution. Today we are on the second island that becomes available to you in the game, Isla Muerta. And I've been playing around with it for a while, trying different things, creating different paddocks and experimenting with what creatures will coexist nicely and which ones won't. 2 of the 4 paddocks that I have set up are right up next to the cliff edge, where I've got the monorail running. And I had done some experiments with whether you actually fence along that edge of the terrain or not, and you actually don't in most cases. I had a few smaller creatures get around the end of the fence there by the beach, but larger creatures didn't seem to be able to or interested in getting around the fence that way. So that was something that we learned. But right now, in this paddock, I've got the rather cranky Ankylosaurus tossed in with the somewhat temperamental Dilophosaurus. And although they challenge each other frequently, fights actually don't end up going anywhere. Although I have seen the little Dilos spit at the Ankylosauruses a few times. It doesn't do any damage to the Ankies, and they both go their separate ways fairly amicably, at least for a while. So far, so good, as far as this cohabitation experiment is concerned. Ironically, it was while I was working on this part of my park that I stumbled across an article about a newly discovered dinosaur of the Ankylosaurid family, Acanocephalus johnsoni. It's just remarkable in that it's an extremely complete skull, it's almost perfect, and a large portion of the skeleton, the tail club, and a lot of related pieces. It's the most complete skeleton that we found in North America to date. And it's raised some interesting theories that perhaps Ankylosaurids came here in 2 distinct waves, because this one is very similar to the Ankylosaurids that have been found in Asia at various time periods, much more thorny and bony in the skull structure and just the way it's put together, the different bony plates. Well, anyway, I thought the timing was interesting. I say newly discovered, but it's actually taken about 4 years of work to get this thing prepped and properly cataloged and studied to prepare for putting it on public display at the Natural History Museum in Utah. That's in Salt Lake City if you want to stop by and check it out. It is worth mentioning that on this island also I still have the problem with civilians getting inside the paddocks. This one is a raptor pen that I've been experimenting with, and guests, although they may not be there for very long, classic tail sweep, nice takedown. Although the guests may not be in there for very long, it does keep messing with my park status. But I guess it's something that can't be helped. Sharing that paddock with the raptors, for the moment anyway, are up to 3 Ceratosaurus. So far it's worked out pretty well, but there is one thing you should keep in mind if you're going to keep small and large carnivores together. The small carnivores will spend a lot of their time panicking, and when they're panicked, they don't eat and they don't drink. So just keep in mind that if you're going to have a mixed paddock of carnivores like this, you need to make sure it's large enough that the smaller ones have enough space to get away from the larger ones for a while, at least long enough to eat or drink occasionally. Otherwise, you're going to have some problems.
While we have friends, our list of enemies is endless. You need to deal with this.
Yeah, indeed it is. I'll see what I can discover. Lambert out.
Isla Muerta incorporates some greater challenges than the starter island, Isla Mantanceros, did. The 2 things that seem to be more predominant here are, well, when you first start out, you have a lot of storm damage, and the storms are much more severe here than you're used to. And you also have a seemingly much higher incidence of sabotage that'll take place. Fortunately, if you're an expert Jeep driver like I am, you can manually take control and get to areas that have been damaged by sabotage quickly and efficiently with a minimum of time wasted. These are crucial skills when operating on this island. Yeah. Well, needless to say, it's a good thing that the Jeeps seem to be fairly indestructible. Otherwise, I would probably be in big trouble. Of course, each island in Jurassic World Evolution brings with it the opportunity to unlock ever more wonderful and beautiful prehistoric creatures.
I know this one. An herbivore called Chunkingosaurus. Can you guess where it was first found? Don't tell me scientists don't have a sense of humor.
Oh, I've always known scientists have a sense of humor. I'm just not sure you do. So yes, Chunkingosaurus, Styracosaurus, among others. New upgrades, new color patterns to apply in the individual creatures' genomes. All sorts of things can be unlocked here on Isla Muerta. Oh, including the genome of the creature that I'm currently working on perfecting, and that is the mighty Baryonyx. Once I get its chance of success up just a little bit higher, I think I'm going to see about replacing the Ceratosaurus that are in the raptor pen. I think I'm going to see about replacing them with Baryonyx, perhaps even having the Baryonyx and the Ceratosaurus fight. The only reason why I would pit them in combat like that against each other is I keep hovering right at the 4.5 star level, and I think I kind of need to have a few combats take place for the individual dinosaurs' ratings to put me up to that 5-star level. And yes, I understand that I don't need to boost every island up to the 5-star level before I move on to the next one. That's not a misunderstanding I have. It's just kind of a personal challenge that I'm working on right now. Well, anyway, that's what I've been up to today in Jurassic World Evolution. If you'd like, in the comments below, feel free to share with the rest of the community what you've been up to today in Jurassic World. And I'm sure everyone would be interested to know. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I will probably bring you back just as soon as the Baryonyx are ready for prime time. We'll see how they fare in this new and savage world. And I also want to take a moment to say thanks for watching. I deeply appreciate it. If you think about it, please give me a thumbs up and, well, maybe even share it with some of your friends. But either way, I'm just glad that you were able to take the time and stop by. Until I see you guys again, take care.